Good evening to all of you out there. It is March 28th, Sunday evening, and it is finally time to recap the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. I'm not going to recap all of it, just give some broad highlights, and obviously I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to Kentucky's game and to Duke's game. Those were the games that I paid the most attention to, and let's be honest, aside from people who are in the Butler area or the West Virginia area, whatnot, everybody is watching the elite players, the number one teams, number one seeds, and I, of course, am a Duke fan. A lot of people out there are Kentucky fans. I am so sorry to disappoint you all. I was very much rooting for Kentucky during the tournament. They're such a fun team to watch with that combination of Wall and Cousins. They're going to be very exciting to watch in the NBA. But last night it was interesting. I think it's why you don't gamble on sports. Unfortunately, that's not approved by the majority of people. Gambling is a huge industry, especially in sports. But look at last night and see how much of a gamble it truly is, and how it's not too wise to at least put a huge amount of money on even a number one team. It certainly is an aberration from what's happened in the past. Duke winning tonight was they saved the Final Four from not having a number one seed in the tournament, which hasn't happened since 2006. But thankfully, Duke made it in, and I think are I wouldn't say considerable favorites, but are huge favorite. They can shoot as well as play excellent defense, and they have great power in the paint. Not just Zubek, but also those Plumlee boys. Very very effective, move very well in the paint, have a lot of good and full of motion in their height category. So, but last night, how crazy was it that the only field goals aside from free throws that West Virginia scored in the first half were three-pointers? I've never seen that in my short career of watching sports. It was almost as if in a baseball scenario that one team had 6 hits and all 6 of those hits were home runs, and the other team had 15 hits, but they were a mixture of singles and doubles, and they had a few runs batted in, but nothing like big whopping solo home runs that just cashed in a run off the crack of the bat. But a fun game. Wall couldn't do it himself. Cousins got a little perplexed about halfway through the game. Fouls, hollering out at referees. Wait for that until you're in the NBA, and he never really got back into a rhythm. And the Wildcats could not buy a three-pointer, and that was the difference in the game today with Duke. Duke hit their free throws, and they also hit their three-pointers. They started off the game 5 for 6 behind the arc, and until missing a couple of free throws late in the second half, they had only missed one free throw during the entire game. And how scary for Michigan State, West Virginia, and Butler that Kyle Singler, for the first time in his 108 game career, did not hit a field goal during the game. He had a couple of free throws, and Duke still beat Baylor by 8 points and a home court advantage for Baylor in Houston, and they are now on their way to Indianapolis. So very exciting in the NCAA tournament. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I was at work. I wasn't able to watch Tennessee and Michigan State, but Tom Izzo is such a phenomenal coach. And I remember the first time that he won the NCAA tournament back in, I believe it was 2000, and just he hasn't looked back. Still made it to the Final Four last year, and again this year, ranked number 5, not expected to go very far. And look at it now. It is madness. It is unpredictable, and it is the NCAA tournament. So very exciting. I should be posting a few more baseball videos for the rest of this week. Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees open up the 2010 Major League Baseball season next Sunday night. I will certainly be watching for that. The NBA is wrapping up and heating up as well, especially in the West. Oklahoma City had a huge win against the Lakers in Oklahoma, but I still don't think it's a huge deal, and that the Lakers, in the end, will be the team to beat and will beat the rest of their teams in the Western Conference, but that's for another night. This is Ginger on the Rocks. Happy Sunday. Have a good rest of the week for all you people out there, and cheers.